He's fucking jacked.
So you think that makes him faster?
That's
a good question. You think it makes him faster?
That's a good question.
Piss test, how dare you?
But B, I'm not
I
sure.
don't think he's doing anything, but he might be.
Yeah, I'm not sure though,
good.
B, that his
Look at that. Come on, son. Look at that.
Yeah.
Callan's jerking off to this later.
I am.
100%.
I have a boner that could cut glass right now.
There's a
Holy shit.
photo on one of the websites that shows him at when he was fighting at 47, ripped, versus him fighting now at 68, ripped, and he definitely looks thicker.
Mike Tyson, the former heavyweight king, didn't hold back with his final verdict on the upcoming mega fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. While he respects Crawford's immense talent, he just can't picture him getting past Canelo when the two step into the ring on September 13. I want Crawford to win, Tyson admitted, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. This guy's a hard puncher. He's a smart fighter. Tyson's take has only added more fuel to what's already being billed as one of the biggest showdowns boxing has ever seen. For him, the math just doesn't add up. He'd love to see Crawford pull off the historic upset, but when he studies Canelo's combination of strength, ring IQ, and legendary toughness, he just can't see a path to victory for the American.
Do you think Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez?
Yeah, I think he can win.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to win, but I think he can win.
So
but
he's
going to have to box a brilliant fight.
Shoot, what about
Get away.
Crawford and Canelo?
What do you think of that?
This fight has captured the imagination of fans worldwide, not just because of the belts on the line, but because of the monumental history at stake. Canelo walks into this contest as the undisputed super middleweight champion, a throne he has earned through years of brutal dominance. For Crawford, the stakes are even more unique. Already an undisputed champion at both super lightweight and welterweight, he now attempts to achieve something no male fighter has ever done before, becoming undisputed in 3 different weight classes.
Personally, I'm a big Crawford fan, so I'm going to lean his way. My only concern is just the size. Like, it didn't look like Terence's power transferred in the last fight, so now it's up some more. You know what I mean?
Part of the problem with that is Underarm's really good.
Yeah, I mean, but I just think Crawford is. That's weird to say against Canelo, but I think he's the better boxer, and I think he's the guy who can make the better in-fight adjustments if Canelo gets killed.
Gonna be interesting, tell you that.
What do you think?
I don't know. You know, it's a big jump. Go from 54, which was step up for 47, right? So it goes to 54, now they're going to 58. That's so much.
And the predictions from the sport's biggest names have been just as divided. William Skull, who just went 12 rounds with Canelo, believes the difference in natural size is simply too much to overcome. Ryan Garcia, who felt Canelo's power in sparring, expects Crawford to land clean shots, but doesn't believe they'll have any real effect. He has the best chin I've ever seen, Garcia said of Canelo. I just think that he's biting off a little bit more than he can chew.
There's just guys that just have preposterous power, and Canelo is a guy that has power but is constantly working on it. There's a great clip of him working with Andy Ruiz. You know that shield, that weird hand shield they hold up for hooks?
Yeah.
And he's like, this is not for speed. This is just power. Just power. He's like, don't try to be fast with this, just power. And you see him down there, bro, he hits so hard.
I mean, it's kind of hard to go against Crawford because how good he is and how he figure out ways how to win. You know what I mean? So you can't take nothing from him, and you can't blame him trying to be great. I understand that, but it's gonna be a good fight.
Are you leaning towards him? Do you feel like you're not sure at this stage?
Yeah, I'm not sure because I look at it as if it go to distance, I think Crawford will win, but if Canelo touch him, it might be a little different. But honestly, I don't know. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be a hell of a fight, and I think it's more of the fans win. You know what I mean? It's 2 great fighters fighting each other at their best. So it's definitely going to be, an amazing fight, and I think the fans win more than anything.
Then there's Shane Mosley, another former Canelo opponent, who envisions a competitive early fight before Canelo's size and strength gradually suffocate Crawford's rhythm. For these fighters who have been in the ring with him, the story is the same. Canelo's physical presence is a force that skill alone cannot always overcome.
Both guys have such dynamic boxing attributes. And like I said, Canelo has to press Crawford. He has to be able to use his size, bully him, and able to land them shots that are going to hurt him and put him in 2 frames of mind. Now Crawford, on the other hand, as much as the size difference doesn't really look like there is a size difference, there is a difference in the weight they've been fighting at. And like I said, Canelo's been fighting as high as light heavyweight. Crawford, in his last fight, did go up to junior middleweight against Madrimov. He did seem to struggle a little bit with a guy at a higher weight. So now you're moving up to super middleweight, will have some effect. But again, it is the biggest fight of his life, biggest fight of Canelo's life, and you're gonna truly think that they're gonna be prepared for anything. But the big thing is, will Crawford be able to dictate the fight against a guy like Canelo Alvarez, who's the bigger man, the guy who's gonna be pushing the pressure. We saw the way he dictated and hurt Errol Spence.
I'm leaning more towards Crawford as time goes on, and I guess it's just him coming from a lower weight, because it's like, me witnessing a person like Boots that's a lower weight, and it like a lot of times weight don't really matter, because I've seen him smash guys that are just like way bigger than him. So I'm looking at it in a sense of, I think Crawford can handle the weight difference, and he could bring, the elusiveness of a lower. I mean, Canelo lower too, but Canelo fight more like a bully in a sense. He's lower too. He's good too, but he just fight more with like more strength, overpowering. He has great technique. He's great, but I'm just looking at the athleticism and the will that Crawford always had and always brought, and I'm just thinking of that just transforming into like this weight difference. The weight difference is the only thing that we could pretty much, argue about. But I think with the weight difference, with me witnessing like smaller guys really just like do damage to bigger guys, it's like, what, that kind of really don't matter in a sense. It's as long as you're good on your game, you're good on your feet, and you can duck and block some punches.
If you believe this is Canelo's fight to lose, hit that like button and let me know your prediction in the comments below.
I think Canelo Crawford is a fight, one of the best fights that can be made in boxing. Backwards and forwards on it, if I'm honest. I mean, my worry is, I see the size of Crawford, he looks pumped up, like much bigger obviously than usual. And it's very difficult to do that to your body and go in and perform like you always perform. I don't know if that's going to help him or hinder him. I hate picking against Canelo Alvarez because, I say he's a mate. I respect him a huge amount. We work together. I worry if he's the same fighter at this stage of his career. I mean, let's be honest, both guys are old in terms of, fighters in their prime. What's Crawford, 36, 37? Canelo, but same 36, they're same kind of age, I think. I worry about Canelo's legs. I remember watching the Skull fight, and he was demotivated for the Skull fight, so you can't take too much from it, but I just felt that his legs looked like they were slowing down a little bit. And, can Crawford handle the power at 168? Let's be honest, he didn't look sensational against Madrimov at 154. Like, he's been so inactive. He's been fighting once a year for the last 2 years, 3 years even. Right now, my head is just leaning with Crawford slightly.
But a growing chorus of respected voices is siding with the underdog. Rising star Jesse Bam Rodriguez is confidently picking Crawford, believing his ring IQ and adaptability outweigh the physical disadvantages. Irilandi Lara, who went the distance with Canelo in a controversial classic, also sees a path for Crawford, but it's a specific one. He believes movement will be the key, advising Crawford to never allow the fight to become a brawl and to make Canelo chase him.
But where would you rank this fight out of your top 3 to 5 of all the boxing fights you've called, you've experienced, you've watched?
In terms of the magnitude of the fight?
Yeah, the magnitude, yeah.
I mean, of the fights that I've called ringside, it might turn out to be number 1. Mm-hmm. I've done Pacquiao fights, I've done Mayweather fights, I've done Anthony Joshua against Klitschko. Those are big fights. But this will, listen, because of Netflix, this will be the most watched fight, championship fight, in almost 50 years. This is going to be because Muhammad Ali fought Leon Spinks in the rematch in '78, and they did 90 million TV sets. 90 million. And since then, what has even come close? The biggest fights have all been on pay-per-view, and they do 2 million buys. Oh my God, 4 million buys, Mayweather Pacquiao. As I keep saying, if 5 people per TV set watch, that's 20 million people. This is gonna do multiples of that. So, so when you look at it from like a commercial point of view, it'll easily be the biggest boxing event I've ever covered.
And then there's Manny Pacquiao, the legend who knows more than anyone about climbing through divisions. He has put his faith firmly behind Canelo, a powerful endorsement that adds another layer to Canelo's favorite status. But others, like Kyron Davis, believe Crawford's mental toughness will level the playing field, while Richardson Hitchens thinks Crawford's unique, crafty style is a puzzle Canelo has never had to solve.
You got a love for boxing.
Yes, love
Who
boxing.
gonna win the fight, man? That's coming up, the biggest
Crawford.
fight in boxing.
Crawford.
Huh?
Crawford. I'm not hesitating. Crawford. I'm not even hesitating. Crawford.
You gonna stand on that all the way to September 13th?
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Alvarez. But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo. You can outpoint him. When I think about Canelo, one of the things that I don't like about Canelo, despite his greatness, and a neck as wide as Broadway for crying out loud,
Right.
it's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yeah.
That's not beating Crawford. I will confess, I think Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble if he decides to engage with Canelo, because Canelo is the naturally bigger, stronger fighter. And I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger, and I don't care that Crawford's gonna go in there just as big as Canelo. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at the weight, and Crawford is not. And Canelo is a genius in this regard. You don't see him show up for fights not ready. He's always ready.
always prepared.
He's always ready.
gotta
He's
give him that.
always prepared. So I think he's the slower fighter, though. And I think that Crawford is brilliant as a boxer. And I think that between switching to conventional and southpaw, using his jab and movement, I think that Crawford is going to outpoint Canelo because he's faster. But I don't think he's gonna knock him.
What about Canelo and Crawford?
Crawford. No hesitation. No hesitation.
I want to see that fight.
Big Bud. Big Bud. We're going to have to roll Canelo up. We're going to have to pack him up, baby.
But how hard is the jump from 47 to 68?
I mean, listen, it's a very big challenge. But what I said, with his skills and the way he's adapted to the size, brother, when I seen him stand toe-to-toe and side by side, I said, game over. Terence Crawford. And listen, don't be surprised if you stop him. I'm telling you.
Who?
Don't be surprised
if Canelo stops Crawford.
Terence Bud Crawford stops Canelo.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I love you. Skills pay the bills. See that, Cody? Skills pay the bills.
But perhaps the boldest prediction of all comes from Zab Judah. The former world champion believes Crawford can not only win, but can actually stop Canelo late in the fight. It's a shocking take considering Canelo's legendary chin, but Judah sees a cerebral fighter in Crawford, someone who can break down his opponent piece by piece over 12 rounds. Israel Madrimov, who recently faced Crawford, called it a fight that could go either way, depending on how well Crawford adjusts to the weight.
Terence is not a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? He's special. And, you know, Canelo, he's a top-notch fighter, world-class fighter. Still on the pound-for-pound list, I'm sure towards somewhere near the top. And it's exciting. You know, Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox, southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, closer range, outside. And he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a big question mark on the end of it, though. So that's why, you know, I'm sure all of us are excited for that bell to ring and, you know, be able to find out firsthand.
Have you been in there with Crawford?
Yeah.
So you've been in there with Crawford, you've been in there with Canelo. What can you take from sparring both of them to gauge what's gonna happen in September?
Preparation is gonna definitely be everything. Crawford adjusting to the 168 pound division. I know he's been sitting at a heavier weight for a while, but like, you know, he's been showing his training and stuff. So that's definitely gonna help him. Canelo experience, but then you got Crawford, he got great experience as well. It's gonna be a great fight, it's gonna be a good chess match. I expect a great fight. If I had to favor somebody, I would just pick Canelo because of the weight disparity. Canelo is naturally like sits really well at 168, and it's just always tough for a guy to come to 168 and come from that many weight classes up and do something like that. If he does it, you know, if anybody can do it, it'll be Terence Crawford.
And finally, there's Sean Porter, who has gone toe-to-toe with Crawford and knows just how dangerous he is. He doesn't believe size alone will decide anything, respecting Crawford's ability to make rapid, genius-level adjustments in the middle of a fight. All of these voices, from Tyson's doubts to Judah's bold prediction, paint a picture of just how monumental this fight really is. On one side stands Canelo Alvarez, the proven king at super middleweight. On the other, Terence Crawford, the master technician aiming to make history with a leap no one has dared before. One thing is certain, when the bell rings in Las Vegas, the entire boxing world will be watching, waiting to see if Tyson's doubts ring true, or if Crawford can silence them by pulling off the impossible.